The hits keep coming for the New Orleans Saints. Not only are their fans extremely disappointed in the way the Saints' 2018 season ended, and rightfully so, but now they have to deal with the fact that one of their best offensive players has decided to retire. Ouch. Source: Saints C Max Unger has retired. Wow. No matter how you slice it, Max Unger's decision to retire is a huge blow to the Saints' offense. The three-time Pro Bowl center is still one of the best in the game at his position, and he's a huge reason why New Orleans has been so successful on the offensive side of the ball since he joined the team in 2015. Unger's ability to keep the middle of the pocket from collapsing on quarterback Drew Brees, while also blocking for Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram in the running game, is the lifeblood of the Saints' offense. Without him, the entire offense could be in trouble. Finding someone to step in and fill those huge shoes won't be easy. As luck would have it, the Dallas Cowboys may have the answer to their problems. Joe Looney had to step in and replace Travis Frederick, another one of the top centers in the NFL, and filled in admirably during his absence. He could do the same thing for the New Orleans Saints. With Frederick set to return to the Cowboys' starting lineup in 2019, Looney suddenly becomes nothing more than a backup CG once again. Because of that, he could become expendable, making him an intriguing tradable asset for teams looking for a starting-caliber offensive lineman with versatility to play any interior position. This could be exactly the kind of player the Saints are targeting. Unfortunately for New Orleans, they don't have a lot of draft capital in the 2019 NFL Draft to find a starting-caliber center. Like the Cowboys, they don't have a first-round pick this year and don't make their first selection until the second round. After that, they don't have another draft pick until the fifth round. This further complicates replacing Unger as well as trading for anyone, such as Joe Looney. It's highly unlikely the Saints are willing to part ways with their second-round pick, and the Cowboys would probably want more for Joe Looney than a fifth-rounder. Looney, after all, has proven to be a serviceable starter, which is probably more valuable for Dallas considering the unknown about Travis Frederick's health moving forward. So, even if the New Orleans Saints picked up the phone and called the Dallas Cowboys to inquire about trading for Joe Looney, I just don't think the two teams would be able to come together on trade compensation. I guess that means we can put this potential trade rumor to bed. Oficialmente, la Agencia Libre de la NFL 2019 comenzó el pasado miércoles. Muchos movimientos sorprendentes abundaron alrededor de la liga, desde contrataciones hasta intercambios involucrando superestrellas como Odell Beckham Jr., quien saldrá de la NFC East para ir a jugar con los Cleveland Browns. Lo que no fue sorprendente, sin embargo, fue la manera en la que los Dallas Cowboys manejaron los primeros días de la agencia libre. Los rumores que comenzaron a rodear a los Cowboys desde que Earl Thomas se acercó a Jason Garrett tras ese partido en Nochebuena del 2017 por fin han llegado a su fin. Lo han hecho después de que los Baltimore Ravens firmaron al safety veterano a un contrato de 4 años por $55 millones con 32 garantizados. Durante los primeros 2 años, Thomas ganará más de los 14 millones anuales que buscaba como agente libre. Sin duda, hubiera sido una maravilla ver a un jugador del calibre de Earl Thomas vestir la estrella en su casco, pero no es ninguna sorpresa que la administración de los Cowboys no haya querido pagar a sus cantidades. Estamos o no de acuerdo con su filosofía, es imposible negar que es así como hacen las cosas. Por muchos años, Dallas no ha formado agentes libres de renombre por contratos enormes, aunque es justo mencionar que estuvieron a punto de hacerlo con el Wr. Sammy Watkins hace un año. En vez de movimientos dignos de noticias nacionales, el equipo se ha limitado a hacer unos cuantos movimientos dentro de casa y un par de contrataciones menores. Firmaron a su fullback James Olawale a un contrato de 3 años. Muchos olvidan que es una pieza importante en equipos especiales. Su contrato es muy mínimo. Regresar en el wide receiver Tavon Austin con un contrato de un año. Funciona como seguro en la posición de slot y contribuirá como regresador de patadas. Lograrán cuidarse con el tackle Cameron Fleming. Buen valor para un jugador banca confiable. Hizo buen trabajo en 2018. Liniero defensivo de los Houston Texans, Christian Covington. Firmó por un año para ser un jugador de rotación en la defensiva. Muy buen valor. Tight end Cody McElroy, no es un movimiento importante. Dudo que se quede en el roster de 53 jugadores. Ahora que, un safety, por favor Thomas es el único jugador externo al equipo por el que los Cowboys hubieran pedido gastar mucho dinero, así que ahora es tiempo de hablar de que sigue para un equipo que no gastará mucho fuera de casa. Primero que nada, me gustaría resaltar que a pesar de que los más conocidos están fuera del mercado, aún hay opciones para atender la urgente necesidad por un safety. Eric Berry, Trey Boston, Andrew Sandijo, entre otros son opciones baratas para el equipo. Dallas puede conseguir un titular para esta posición a un precio muy barato. Los Cowboys deberían considerar muy fuertemente atender la posición de safety en este momento en vez de esperar abril. Hay buenos jugadores aquí afuera y no tiene caso forzar la selección de un safety en el NFL Draft. ¿Por qué esperar? Emmanuel Ogbah se necesita un reemplazo para Randy Gregory después de su nueva suspensión. Los Cowboys parecían listos con dos buenos cazacabeces, pero ahora es tiempo de buscar otro. Recientemente, se reportó que los Cleveland Browns buscan un trade por su ala defensiva Emmanuel Ogbah. Ogbah es un jugador que interesó a Stephen Jones y compañía en 2016 antes de que los Browns se lo robaran antes de la selección con lo que Jalen Smith llegó a Dallas. Ahora disponible y con un año de contrato, los Cowboys podrían conseguir a Ogbah por medio de un trade. No debe de ser una opción cara. Da una cuarta o una quinta ronda podría ser suficiente para traer este talento a Dallas. No perder de vista lo importante finalmente, volvemos a lo mismo. La prioridad de los Dallas Cowboys debería de estar en casa. Sin embargo, DeMarcus Lawrence permanece en descontento. No tendrá cirugía. Lawrence es uno de los mejores defensivos en la liga y es tiempo de que se le pague como tal. Quizá con la primera oleada de agentes libres terminada podamos ver esta historia concluir con un final feliz. Dallas Cowboys QB Dak Prescott, RB Ezekiel Elliott, Tom Pennington, Getty Images, en la lista de espera de Dak Prescott, quien busca su extension previo al inicio de temporada. Amari Cooper también podría conseguir su dinero antes de septiembre. San Ezekiel Elliott y Byron Jones los que me atrevería a decir que tendrán que esperar hasta el próximo año para que sea su turno. Por ahora, recordemos que la agencia libre comenzó este miércoles y que las contrataciones enormes llaman la atención, pero no siempre funcionan. De hecho, muchas veces no lo hacen. The Dallas Cowboys have been very quiet thus far in free agency, even more quiet than expected. They sat out the first wave of what they perceived to be overpaid players to allow the second and third tier guys to hopefully fall to them on a discount. The idea is, or at least the idea they sell fans is, that they can't overspend on talented players like Earl Thomas because they need that extra money to take care of their own. The Cowboys' strategy is to draft well, hit on their picks, and re-sign their own free agents when the time comes. When you draft well, you obtain players worthy of long-term contracts. Players who are homegrown and committed to the franchise's direction. This all makes logical sense. But, well, are the Cowboys going to actually take care of their own? If you ask defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence, I doubt that he'd feel very taken care of at the moment. Dallas franchise tagged Lawrence to avoid letting him hit the free market, giving themselves an extended period to negotiate an extension. Lawrence, who played on the tag last season, is looking for a lengthy and expensive extension with the Cowboys. The Cowboys, on the other hand, appear to be looking to nickel and dime him any way that they can. Rather than signing him to an extension worth about $17 million a year last offseason, they elected to make him prove it to them again. Because of injury history and some up-and-down play in the past, the tag made sense. He proved it, though, having one of the best seasons of his career and continuing to excel as one of the top edge players in all of football. Now the market says he's worth much more than $17 million a season, and would get over $20 million on the open market in free agency. He's earned his contract. He's earned that top-tier money. And it's time the Cowboys actually take care of their own, rather than simply saying they will do so. It's still early in the process, there is no doubt, but this is off to somewhat of an ugly start. If a player's Twitter likes an NFL insider rumors are any indication, I readily admit they might not be. Lawrence and the Cowboys are further away than fans would hope for. We have about 6 months before a meaningful game is played, and a Lawrence extension still remains likely prior to Week 1. But despite what Cowboys media and fans want to say and believe, sometimes the national guys do get it right. And those national guys are wondering if Lawrence and the Cowboys are in for an ugly summer, with holdouts and infighting rather than good faith negotiations. For the sake of the Dallas Cowboys, I hope this is not the case. Luckily, I do think they will get an extension done, and DeMarcus Lawrence will have a long-term deal with the Cowboys before September. But if this is botched as badly as the early signs point to it being, Dallas' whole free agency philosophy could fall on its face. Upsetting their defensive leader, and one of the best players on their team, would do serious damage to the loyalty and commitment players feel with the franchise. Because if you're a player on the team and seeing the front office have trouble taking care of DeMarcus Lawrence, what are you supposed to expect when your contract is up? Jason Garrett's most heralded skill is his ability to get his players to fight for him, but the front office could sabotage that ability if these negotiations don't go well. While most Cowboys-focused memories of their wildcard victory over the Seahawks are positive ones, those surrounding Allen Hurns are rather brutal. Hurns had to be carted off of the field early in that playoff game with a lower leg injury, and looked like he'd be out for quite some time. Somehow, Allen Hurns is expected to be ready for training camp and should be healthy and ready to go for Week 1 in the fall. Just because he'll be ready to go, however, doesn't mean the Cowboys will be eager to have him on the field. Hurns wasn't too productive during his first year in Dallas, and saw his playing time decreased heavily after the Cowboys traded for wide receiver Amari Cooper. As of right now, you'd expect Hurns to be in the WR4 role for the Cowboys backing up Cooper. Michael Gallup is an outside receiver. Stephen Jones spoke differently about his potential role, however, stating that he thinks Hurns can help in the slot for the Cowboys in 2019. Especially since Cole Beasley is moving on to a new team. Replacing Beasley with Hurns is not exactly an improvement to the position, and you'd still like Dallas to bring in a player from the outside to compete for reps in the slot, whether that be through free agency or the NFL draft. Either way, Hurns' value to the receiving corps in 2019 should be in question, even if the Cowboys staff continues preach about how much of a leader and positive locker room guy he is. I have no doubt that Hurns is a great dude worthy of a training camp spot with the team and a chance to compete. But a player's mentality and leadership should not be valued over actual on-field ability, especially when you are trying to improve your passing attack in the modern NFL. When Hurns was signed last offseason, fans hoped he could replace some of the production which would be lost with Dez Bryant being released. In Jacksonville there were examples of him filling that Des-like role, but nothing he did with Dallas in 2018 should give you confidence he can do so going forward. The answer to the title of this piece, at least at this point, is, I don't know, nobody really knows. The Cowboys like Hearns enough to pick up his option for 2019, but I'd be shocked if they came away from the draft without a player who could serve as a direct replacement with a higher talent ceiling.